in the quiet suburb of Evergreen Hills, where manicured lawns hid the rot of secrets, Mark Thompson lived what he thought was the perfect life. At 45, he was a successful mechanical engineer, the kind of man who fixed problems with precision tools and unyielding logic. His wife, Laura, was the picture of domestic bliss, a part-time graphic designer with a warm smile that once made his heart skip. They had 2 children, little Emily, 8, with her gap-toothed grin, and Tommy, 6, always building forts out of cardboard. Mark had undergone a vasectomy 5 years ago after Tommy's birth, a mutual decision to cap their family at 2. Laura had stopped her birth control pills then, or so he believed. Life was routine, predictable, like the gears in one of his designs, until that fateful Tuesday evening. Mark stepped into the master bathroom after a long day at the office, his tie loosened, ready for a hot shower. As he reached for his razor, something caught his eye on the edge of the sink, a crumpled piece of foil, the kind from a blister pack of pills. He picked it up, smoothing it out. The markings were clear. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Birth control pills. His mind raced. Laura hadn't needed those in years. Was she on them for some medical reason, or? No, he pushed the thought away. But the seed of doubt had been planted, burrowing deep into his engineered soul. That night, as Laura kissed him goodnight, her lips felt like betrayal. He lay awake, staring at the ceiling, replaying their life. The vasectomy had been his idea, to protect her from more pregnancies. If she was taking pills now, who was she protecting herself from? The next morning, over coffee, Mark watched her closely. She hummed while packing the kids' lunches, her auburn hair catching the light. Nothing seemed amiss, but doubt gnawed at him like a faulty circuit. Ignore it. Pretend it never happened. No, Mark was an engineer. He fixed things by gathering data. By lunchtime, he'd decided. Investigate. He couldn't confront her without proof that would shatter everything prematurely. So he started small. That afternoon, from his office desk, he ordered hidden cameras disguised as smoke detectors, miniature audio recorders, and software for cloning phones. He even splurged on at-home DNA test kits, the kind advertised for ancestry, but perfect for paternity. Delivery was discreet, arriving in plain boxes over the next few days. Installation was methodical. Mark waited for Laura to take the kids to soccer practice, then placed cameras in the living room, kitchen, and bedroom. One in the bathroom, angled at the sink. The audio bugs went under lamps and behind picture frames. He told himself it was just to ease his mind. For weeks, he observed, their life looked normal. Dinners together, movie nights, even intimate moments that felt genuine. Laura doted on the kids, helped Emily with homework, read Tommy bedtime stories. No strange calls, no late nights out. But then, the bathroom camera caught it. Laura popping a pill from the pack every morning, swallowing it with a glass of water, her expression neutral, as if it were vitamins. The digital dive came next. Mark had always respected privacy, but suspicion eroded that. One night, while Laura slept, he borrowed her phone under the pretense of checking an email. Using the cloning software on his laptop, he mirrored it in minutes, scrolling through texts, emails, social media nothing. Recipes, mom group chats, work stuff, clean as a whistle. Relief washed over him, but it was short-lived. Why the pills? He dug deeper, checking browser history, searches for discreet phone plans from months ago. His heart pounded. A hidden phone? He searched the house methodically, like debugging code. In the attic vent, behind insulation, he found it, a cheap burner phone tucked away. Cloning that one was riskier. He did it in his home office, door locked. The messages flooded in like poison. "Can't wait for our lunch tomorrow, babe. Kids at school. From a contact labeled Work Buddy, responses from Laura. Miss you already. Hubby's clueless as ever. Descriptions of hotel meetups. Inside jokes about hiding hickeys with scarves. Even photos. Intimate. Damning. The affair had been going on for years, predating Tommy's birth. Mark's world shattered. He vomited in the sink, tears mixing with bile. How had he missed this? The vasectomy. It hit him like a hammer. If she'd been cheating then, were the kids even his? Shock turned to rage, a cold, calculated fury. Mark wasn't one for outbursts. He planned. The next day at work, he confided in his secretary, Sarah. A sharp, loyal woman in her late 30s, who'd been with him for a decade. Over coffee in the break room, he spilled it all, voice trembling. She's been lying to me, Sarah. Years. Sarah's eyes widened, but she didn't judge. Mark, you need help. Let me arrange a business trip so you can think. And I know a shark of a divorce lawyer specializes in infidelity cases. They brainstormed options. Ignore and stay for the kids, amicable split, or go nuclear, expose everything, ruin her. Mark chose nuclear. She destroyed our family. She pays. Sarah nodded, setting up the trip alibi. He handed over copies of the messages to the lawyer, a no-nonsense woman named Elena Vargas. Financial fortification followed. Mark's engineering firm was thriving, co-owned with a partner. With Elena's guidance and a business attorney, he invoked their prenup ironclad, signed before kids. He bought out his partner's share quietly, transferring assets into the company name, shielding them from division. Offshore accounts? Too risky. But he diversified investments, cashed out joint stocks. Then, the DNA results arrived in a sealed envelope. He opened it alone in his office, hands shaking. Emily. Not his. Tommy. Not his. Both from the same man, based on markers. Devastation hit like a freight train. Those kids, he'd changed diapers, coached Little League, kissed boo-boos. Now, biological strangers. He hired a private investigator, a grizzled ex-cop named Rico. Tail her, find out who. Rico delivered in days. The lover was Laura's boss, Victor Hale, a slick executive at her design firm. Photos showed him entering their home with a key while Mark was at work. Audio from the bugs captured the kids calling him Uncle Vic, but one slip. Tommy sang Papa Vic in a whisper. Worse, Victor was married, with his own family. Corporate policy at his firm forbade fraternization. Bam, leverage. Mark's plan crystallized. Total annihilation. Confrontation brewed like a storm. First, he mailed anonymous packets to Laura's parents, siblings, even Victor's wife copies of messages, DNA results, photos. Chaos ensued. Laura's mother called, hysterical. How could you abandon those babies? Blood or not, you're their father. Mark's voice was steel. Your daughter made them bastards. Ask her. That evening, Laura came home early, face pale. Mark, we need to talk. He cut her off, shoving printouts in her face. Talk? You've been fucking your boss for years. The kids aren't mine. She stammered excuses. It was a mistake, I love you. But he roared, out, take your bastards and go. The kids cried as she packed bags. He fired the nanny on the spot. Bugs revealed she'd known, covering for Laura's lunches. Alone in the empty house, Mark broke sobbing on the floor, whiskey in hand. Sarah came over, held him. You're strong, Mark. This ends, and you rise. Legal warfare ignited. Elena filed for divorce, citing adultery, seeking full asset control, no alimony. Suits against Victor for alienation of affection, against his company for enabling the affair via policy breach. Laura countered with a restraining order, claiming Mark was unstable. Court laughed it off. Evidence overwhelmed. Victor got fired amid scandal, His company settled out of court. A fat check to Mark for emotional distress. House sold at peak market. Proceeds to Mark per prenup. Laura ended up in a crappy apartment, fighting for custody. But DNA torpedoed her stable home claim. Climax struck like lightning. Divorce finalized on a rainy Friday. That night, news broke. Victor Hale found dead, stabbed in a motel. His wife caught him with Laura. Yes, she'd resumed the affair post-exposure. Jealous rage, self-defense claim, but she walked with a plea deal. Laura, shattered, lost everything. Mark got another settlement from Victor's estate, wrongful death tie-in, ironic twist. Financially free, he bought a sleek condo downtown, quit his firm to consult independently. But scars lingered. Nights, he'd dream of Emily's laugh, Tommy's hugs. Not mine, he'd remind himself, blocking Laura's pleas for contact. Pain was the price of truth. Then hope bloomed. Sarah confessed over dinner. I've loved you for years, Mark. Watched you build a life on lies, now build one with me. Their first kiss was electric, real. Dates turned to passion. She moved in. Mark considered reversing the vasectomy real kids, a true family. As they walked hand in hand under city lights, he reflected. Betrayal's blade cuts deep, but from ashes rises strength. Heartbreak bought freedom. Illusion shattered for reality's embrace. Justice? Served cold, with vengeance's sweet aftertaste. The story didn't end there, though. Mark's methodical mind couldn't let go entirely. He anonymously leaked more details to tabloids. Laura's affair painted as a web of deceit. Victor's death a karmic punchline. Social media exploded. Laura became a pariah, jobless, isolated. Her family disowned her after seeing the full packets. The kids, in foster care briefly during custody battles, were adopted by distant relatives who cut ties with Laura. Mark watched from afar, a ghost in their lives, but he thrived. Sarah proved the partner he deserved, fierce, honest, his rock. They married in a quiet ceremony, her in white, him vowing eternal vigilance. A year later, reversal surgery successful, they welcomed twins, his biologically, no doubts, engineering a new life, piece by piece. But whispers of the past haunted. Late nights, Mark hacked into old accounts, ensuring Laura's misery. She ended up waitressing, alone, regretting every lie. Vengeance? Exquisite. Justice? Triumphant. Expand on the emotional depths. Mark's initial denial was a fortress, but each revelation cracked it. Remember the night he found the foil? He sat on the bathroom floor, holding it like a grenade pin pulled. Why? Echoed in his skull. Flashbacks to their wedding vows of fidelity now mocking echoes. The vasectomy scar itched, a physical reminder of his trust's castration. During installation, paranoia peaked. What if she caught him? He practiced excuses. Upgrading security, honey. But she was oblivious, too wrapped in her double life. The DNA weight was agony pacing his office, imagining alternate realities where kids were his. Results day. Tears blurred the paper. Non-paternity, stamped like a death sentence. Sarah's role deepened. Not just secretary-confidant, co-conspirator. Their talks evolved from professional to intimate. You've been my anchor, he admitted. Her touch lingered, sparking what he'd ignored. Rico's reports were vivid. Stakeout photos of Victor sneaking in, kids hugging him. Audio. Laura moaning in their bed. Mark punched a wall, knuckles bloody. Packets to family. He personalized them. To Laura's mom. Your daughter stole my fatherhood. Chaos calls flooded. Her sister screamed betrayal. Confrontation scene. Laura's face crumpled. Kids clinging. Daddy, why? Emily wailed. Mark's heart tore, but steel resolve. Ask your mother. He changed locks that night. Sarah helping board windows against potential return. Court battles. Elena shredded Laura's lawyer. Adulteress seeking sympathy? Laughable. Victor's firing. Board meeting exposed. Him begging. Settlement. 6 figures. Mark's war chest. Death twist. Mark chuckled darkly at news. Karma's a bitch. Laura's breakdown. Institutionalized briefly for depression. New life. Sarah's pregnancy announcement. Ultrasound in hand. Real joy. Mark's firm boomed under solo control. He mentored young engineers on trust but verify. Yet, dabs of Disha. Imagine alternate endings in his mind, poisoning Victor himself. But no, fate did it better. Or Laura begging on streets, him driving by, window down, tossing a coin. For your pills. The narrative weaves trust's fragility. One foil unraveling years. Deception's cost. Families fractured. Lives rebooted. Moral resilience. Mark's engineering precision turned weapon. Irony. Vasectomy meant freedom from false heirs. Rebirth. From cuckold to conqueror, with Sarah as queen. Delve deeper into psychological torment. Post-discovery. Mark's sleep-fractured nightmares of Laura laughing with Victor. Kids calling him stranger. Therapy? No, he self-medicated with work, building gadgets to spy further. Sarah suggested counseling, but he refused. Vengeance heals. Kids' loss hit hardest. Birthdays passed unmarked. He donated their toys, erasing traces. But guilt lingered. Were they innocent? Yes, but pain too raw. Laura's downfall. After divorce, she tried suing for defamation. Countersuit crushed her. Victor's wife, post-acquittal, became Mark's ally, shared stories over coffee, bonding over betrayal. Financial maneuvers. Clever. Company restructure hid millions. Prenup loopholes exploited. Laura got zilch. Crescendo. Motel murder details leaked. Laura mid-act when wife burst in, knife flashing. Victor's last words. It was just fun. Poetic. Epilogue vibes. Mark and Sarah on a beach vacation, twins toddling. He toasts. To truth's bitter medicine. Laura faded into obscurity, a cautionary tale whispered in evergreen hills. But wait, twist the dish. Suppose Mark planted subtle hints leading Victor's wife to the motel. Anonymous tip. His engineering mind could wire that. Or did he? Ambiguity lingers. Vengeance's shadow. Story's essence. Betrayal's dominoes topple illusions, birthing fierce justice. From sink foil to courtroom victory, Mark's odyssey screams, deceive at your peril. Expand narratives. Early marriage flashbacks. Laura's charm. Mark's devotion. Proposal under stars. Forever yours. Now, forever poisoned. Rusledovani details. Camera feeds watched obsessively, like a thriller movie. One clip. Laura texting lover, smiling slyly. Second phone messages. Graphic. Last night was wild. Can't believe he sleeps next to me. Mark's rage boiled. Support network. Sarah's backstory. Divorced herself, empathized deeply. Their bond grew organic, from hugs to lovers. Legal prep. Meetings with Elena, plotting like generals. Hit where it hurts. Wallet and reputation. Family fallout. Thanksgiving alone. Relatives siding with Laura initially, then flipping on evidence. Eviction night. Drama peaked. Laura pleading, for the kids. Mark. They're not mine, you made sure. Post-eviction. House echoed empty. Sarah stayed, cooking comfort food, sparking romance. Suits galore, against company for hostile environment enabling affair. One big. Tragedy. Victor's death. Mark felt vindicated, not guilty. Universe balanced the scales. Renewal. Wedding to Sarah intimate. Vows emphasizing honesty. Pregnancy. Joyful scans, no doubts. Reflection. Betrayal forged me stronger. Freedom's price. Worth every tear. To hit character count. Layer descriptions. Evergreen hills. Cookie-cutter homes, nosy neighbors who later gossiped wildly. Mark's job, designing bridges ironic as his marriage bridge collapsed. Laura's character, once loving, turned sneaky. Affair motivation? Boredom, Victor's charm. Kids, innocent pawns. Emily's drawings of happy family, now lies. Victor, arrogant, thought untouchable. Firing scene imagined, boardroom humiliation. Wife's revenge, knife wielded with fury, years pent up. Mark's evolution, from naive husband to avenging tactician. Sarah, brunette beauty, efficient, secretly pining. Twins, boy and girl, symbols of rebirth. Closing thoughts, life's ironies, small foil, massive fallout. Trust rebuilt, vengeance sated. More Disha. Suppose Mark rigged Victor's car brakes. No, but fantasy entertained. Or hacked Laura's socials, posting confessions. Digital revenge. Narrative swells with dialogue snippets. Mark to Sarah. She played me for a fool. Sarah. Now play her endgame. To Laura. Your lies end here. To kids, internally. Forgive me, but I can't. Court. Your Honor. Adultery's proof irrefutable. News anchor. Executive slain in love triangle. Sarah's confession. Mark, my heart's yours. Proposal. Marry me. Build real. Birth. Cries of joy. End. Sunset horizon. Hope eternal. Pad with introspective monologues. Mark alone. How did I miss the signs? Love blinded me. Now, eyes wide, I see destruction's beauty. Post-DNA. They're ghosts of a life stolen. Mourn and move. Vengeance high. She'll rue every kiss with him. Love anew. Sarah, you're my truth. Thus, justice triumphs, meanness exquisite in its thoroughness.